There's a lot of experts out there, and it seems to be more and more people become visible anyway. So I've been spending quite a bit of time over the last month or so on LinkedIn, and it's extraordinary how many people there are there who help people to their marketing of their business, and with LinkedIn specifically and all of that. There's a lot of experts, and some of them I'm sure are not what they seem, but there are a lot of people who seem to be really good.
We've certainly needed to engage with folks like that, and our experience in the past wasn't sometimes great, especially getting started out with that. How do we know which ones to pick? How do you know who to trust?
Right. Yeah, exactly. And who you choose, who seems like a good idea, or what options seem like a good idea, are determined not by your logical mind, not by your conscious mind, not by objective facts, and not by who actually will get you the results you want, but by what your brain is referring to in the unconscious references. So your unconscious self-image and worldview determine what seems like a good idea and what doesn't, but not based on fact. We had a client who was looking for people to help her with promoting her business, and she kept finding herself working with people who were not reliable. Now, what was actually happening? She would hire someone who seemed like a great person. They seemed like a good match. They seemed reliable. They said all the right things. They had references from other people. So it all seemed like a great idea. And then she would hire them. So she's paying these people. And then over a period of time, she would find that they're not returning her calls, or they're not doing what they said they would do. They kept letting her down. These are all different people. But what was actually happening in the background is that as her brain was registering certain data, so micro expressions, tone of voice, certain words, where someone else's brain may have picked up red flags and gone, oh yeah, no, something doesn't feel right here, her brain was filtering those red flags out and creating feel-good chemicals that felt like, no, this is a good match. And the reason it was doing that is because in the moment, her brain was referring to her childhood, which included experiences of feeling abandoned, feeling unheard, not allowed to speak out, those kinds of things. And then it was keeping her in alignment with that. Perhaps seeing someone who would have been reliable, her brain would then trigger stress chemicals because it wasn't a match for her childhood. So then she would feel like, yeah, no, something's not right about that person. And instead, her brain was producing feel-good chemicals when it was someone who would let her down. Now, we changed those childhood memories, and like within a week or two, she had hired someone who was helping her to promote her business, who was fantastic. She couldn't get over how easy this person was to work with and how reliable they were and what a great job they were doing. And again, because she changed the brain's GPS, which meant that it was now keeping her in alignment with people who could be counted on, people who were going to help her make a difference in her business. Instead of looking outside at those things, look inside first and change your brain's GPS, change those implicit childhood memories to match the results you want. And then your brain will be filtering out different things. You will see the red flags before you actually commit to something. You will be drawn to those products, services, and people that will help you to achieve the goals you want to achieve.
And certainly finding those unconscious references, finding those links, those connections that were those foundational pieces for us in our childhood is something that is a little bit more complex than something that we can jump into in a short video segment like this. But we do have a masterclass that we would like to invite you to. So I think that that would be a great place to get started discovering, looking for, finding some of those references that are influencing the decisions that we're making in the moment.
Determining. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So the link is in the description, and that masterclass will give you all of the background that you need in order to understand how those references are created and how they can be changed.